So look, I was having a conversation with a friend, right? And I don't know what we were talking about, but we got on the subject of like good morning text as like being flirty. Like as like that's us like a sign of flirting. So I was like, really? You think, somebody saying good morning beautiful is them flirting? And she was like, yeah, you don't? And I was like, no. And she was like, what? And I was like, people tell me good morning, beautiful, and I just think, thank you. Like, I do appreciate it. And I'm like, I just think that person is being nice, like, really nice. And I'm like, okay, and then I'll say it back, like, okay, good morning, beautiful, or good morning, handsome. Like, I don't think that's flirting. And then she's kind of like looked at me. And then I was like, well, then again, I never know if somebody's flirting with me, like somebody else. There's always like a third party that has to tell me. And I'm like, for instance, I had worked at this job. I'm new. We're still like in our like first week. And I meet a girl or whatever. She's cool. And then like we're eating lunch one day on our break. And then like just out of nowhere, she tells me, she was like, eventually, she's like, I'm just gonna tell you this. Eventually, I'm gonna want to see what that do. She's like, something about she do it with all her friends, especially like certain ones or whatever. And then to me, I didn't take that as like nothing. I'm just like, okay, like she want to see what this do, like as in like this friendship. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm want to see what it do too, like see where this friendship goes. And then so every day she's like telling me, some along those lines of that. And then one of her mutual friends, she pulled me to the side and she was like, she's flirting with you and da da da. And I was like, no, she's not. And she was like, yes, she is. And I was like, no, she's not. And I was like, she's just being nice or whatever. I'm like, we just met. And I'm like, I'm like, we just met. So I'm like, she's just being nice. She was like, pretty much like, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. And I'm like, I never really know unless somebody like say it. Other than that, I just assume people are nice because I'm nice, I don't have like a secret motive behind my niceness. So when somebody's like start being nice to me, I'll just be like, thank you, da 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 da. Then I'll return like back a nice gesture too. So we're laughing about that. And then I just get on along the lines and I'm like, you're right. I'm like, when I be talking like to my spiritual team and my guys, whatever, my ancestors, they be telling me that I'm emotionally immature. And then they were like, okay, but before you get defensive, it's not so much a bad thing, but I like haven't fully developed like how to like, express my emotions and, stuff like that. So it was like, when the time like when your emotions arise, you revert like a child and you handle your emotions like a child. And I'm just like, no, I don't. Da 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 da. And I'm like, I should never even said nothing because the time did arise. It was like my emotions, it's like everything came to the surface. And then it's like, boom, I have to face this, but I'm like, how? So I did what I did best. I wrote a poem. So I wrote the poem. I started off the poem crying my heart out because I'm like expressing my emotions. And then by the end of the poem, I'm laughing because I'm like, dang, maybe I am emotionally immature. But I'm like, no, I'm not. That's just a poem. Boom, put that to the side. And then like it was just like a problem that just kept coming up. And it was just like, boom, now you got to use your throat chakra, stand on your chakras now and speak. And I couldn't, like, I imagined it, like, practice. And then I was like, when the time came to just say what, I needed to say, I couldn't. So, I took the easy way out. I blocked a whole bunch of people, just woke up one day and just like block, 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 block. Then I'm like, whew, I'm safe. I did it. I never had the strength to block them before. Da 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 da. So I'm like, I'm good. Thought I was wiping the sweat off my brow. Boom. And then that's when I learned, like, you cannot outrun your problems. You cannot keep them buried under the surface because they're going to always manifest into something else, right? It's like that joke where the sun is so hot in Africa that it's like a cheetah chasing you in 90-degree weather. It's always gonna be right behind you every time you turn around, right? So I'm just laughing, like, I thought, boom, me blocking people was gonna solve my problems, but all that problem did was play back in my face like, oh, you want to block me? Watch what I can do. Boom. That my problems went into its cosmic powers and started doing some cosmic stuff, right? And manifested into something much greater to where the original problem now seems so small. And I'm like, I could have just did that. Now I got to do this and that. But I don't know. I be just like laughing at myself sometimes because I'm like, I be here, but I'm not here. And I just be laughing because I'm just whimsical sometimes too. Just whimsical. Like, I don't know. But we was having that conversation and I was just cracking up. And like this was the way she was looking at me, like, really, like, how don't you know? And I'm like, And then I'm just thinking back to now, just thinking about all the possible people that may have been flirting with me. And I'm just all like, la, 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 la. Oh, thank you. And then going back to like doing what I was doing, like, la, 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 la. Oh, wait. And then I'm laughing. Like, my ancestors was like, oh, we can't give her everything. Come on. Like, to like Powerpuff Girls. How they made with sugar, spice, and everything nice. When it was coming to my intelligence and my awareness, they're like, oh, take some of that out. She can't be super alert. She's already, too strict as it is. And da 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 da. Make her a little whimsical or she'll never make friends. Oh gosh, this stuff be so funny to me.